What I'm about to show you might be the weirdest thing that happened to me in gaming history. So I was playing Red Dead Online as usual when I noticed these two players who were looking very familiar. The worst part is, that was definitely not the weirdest thing that happened during this session. Just listen to what this guy is saying.
I like BDSM.
And it definitely wasn't enough to just say it once.
I like BDSM.
Can we please just take a moment to appreciate the beauty of this quote? But yeah, back to the familiar faces. As you guys can see, it gathered quite a crowd. I would almost compare it to when Jesus was out, although I hope it weren't as much shooting and killing when that happened. But I must admit, the reasons to killing each other is quite valid.
Oh, now you die. Because Nazi Germany.
Another great inspirational quote, which I actually think is being used by judges all over the world when there's the death penalty. Now that I think about it, this is probably exactly what Dutch wanted. But, as always, there will be people who doubt and don't have faith, and Dutch deals with them the only way possible. He beats them up and then laughs at them.
What the fuck, man?
Parker wanted to know.
As cool as it was seeing Dutch and Javier in Reddit Online, I couldn't let him just stand there and not answer for his sins. Dutch, why did you betray Arthur? But instead of answering me, he just blows me a kiss. Now I must admit that almost made me want to go to Tahiti with him, but I have to remember what he did to my boy Arthur, so I try to kill him. Unfortunately, Dutch had a plan which makes him immortal, and one of his lackeys shoot me, and I die. But it's not over yet. Arthur! Arthur! Is that really you? Now I must admit, recognizing Arthur and Valentine was a bold move considering what happened last time. Fuck you, Micah. I'm not quite sure what happened, but it seems now that Micah and Arthur are friends. I mean, just look at them chilling, listening to some music together. Now I just remembered, Red Dead Online takes place in 1898, 1 year before the story. This is officially canon, so this is definitely what they were doing before the story took place. However, I know what's going to happen, so I'm going to do something in order to prevent it. I do admit that could have gone better, but at least now he knows I'm serious about this. I also realize I can't take him on my own. I'm gonna have to get Arthur on my side. And I know there's one thing Arthur loves more than anything in this world, and that is his hat. What do you think about my hat?
What's wrong with you?
Micah is obviously aware of what's going to happen when Arthur sees the hat, so he tries everything in his power to stop it. He even makes this huge explosion in the air. I believe this is the hot air balloon that I found on the roof a little bit later, which unfortunately I couldn't drive. But if I could, I would definitely take Micah with me, and I would accidentally sneeze and he would fall over the edge and die. That reminds me, I should show Micah the bridge to Mexico. Kinda weird how whenever Micah's around there's always a big massacre. It's a shame he's not in it. As I stand here chilling with my boy and Micah, his intrusive thoughts win and he starts choking Arthur. I'm totally flabbergasted. I don't really know what to do, as I couldn't kill him earlier. I can, however, push him, and that's exactly what I do. Some may call this cowardice or unfair because it didn't see me coming, but I think if anyone should get backstabbed, it's this guy. Then everyone in Valentine tries to help Arthur, and it's quite a wholesome moment. It does, however, get a little confusing when someone starts pointing their gun at me, for example, and I don't know quite if I should shoot or just leave it be. To be honest, I think most of the people here were confused, as everyone's just aiming at each other and shooting each other. But the important thing is, we had one common enemy, Micah. And he then saw me as the biggest threat, so he hogtied me. Then this other guy just kicked me to death. It was my own fault. This guy aimed at me previously, so I should have seen the red flag back then and just shot him dead. The Wild West ain't for the faint of heart, which I am not, because I once drank 14 Red Bull in one day. I did get sent to the hospital, but that was for my hemorrhoids. So my heart is good. And I would arguably say it's in the right place as well, because the second I respawned, I gunned this motherfucker down, like he was John Marston at the end of Red Dead Redemption 1. I then get to live out my dream of pushing Micah down the rock. Push him off the edge. Oh, that's the wrong way. He then blows a kiss at me before he punches me in the face. Classic Micah move. I then get to live out another dream, beating the shit out of Micah. I'm not joking when I say I could have done this for hours. And I know you guys probably would enjoy watching this for hours too. So here's some nice music and just me beating the shit out of Micah. Consider it this week's therapy. But then this dipshit had to join in and ruin the fun. I'm starting to hate this guy more than Micah. This guy then confessed his love for Micah in a kind of romantic way when he put their initials in a flaming heart. I of course needed to match this, so I made my own work of art. And then look who returns. Micah is so happy to see him that he jumps on him like a big dog. He actually is so happy to see Arthur again that he doesn't know what to do with his energy, so he starts beating me. I gotta say, it's extremely satisfying watching me punch his face in first person. And then, the rematch of the century begins.
Open your eyes. Why are you so threatened by me? Shit.
After a while of this, I realize I could save Arthur. So I grab my lasso and I hog tie Micah. This was my Red Dead Redemption. If you're wondering what Arthur did with the hog tie Micah, he took him to a hotel room. If this video gets 50 likes, I'll post what they did in there. Warning, it's graphic.
You have to watch my video, you have to watch my video and like and subscribe.